Hi friends, welcome to Mik Makes, where today Mik is gonna make a loaf of bread. And I'm using one of my bread recipes, but I wanna put it to the test because typically you need to do like 2 rises, but I don't wanna. So we're gonna see if we can get away with 1.
Alright, so we're starting off with 4 tablespoons of butter. It doesn't matter if it's cold or if it's soft because we're gonna microwave it anyway. Going in with 1 1/4 cup of milk. I've used oat milk, I've used whole milk, whatever. Anyway, microwave it, get your butter melted. You want to be anywhere in between like 110 and like 115, so this was absolutely perfect. This is the yeast I use. It's super cheap. You get it from the Wally Mart. Whisk it in after you add a tablespoon of sugar because I heard that the yeast like feeds off of the sugar. I don't know if that's real. Do your own research. But anyway, this is what I do. Look it. This is called blooming. See, it's starting to bloom where it looks gross and kind of like a weird growth bacteria. That's what you want. That's what it's doing a good job. Once it's nice and bloomed, add in an egg and stir all that shit up. This is where you would season it. You don't have to do this. You don't have to season like this, but at least season it. At least put like a little bit of salt or something in there. Salt, pepper, whatever. I'm using chicken bouillon seasoning because I put that shit in everything. Now we're going to go in with 3.5 cups of flour. I'm doing 1 cup at a time. 1 cup didn't do much, very soupy. This is the 2nd cup. It's still not soupy, but not thick enough. Now we're going in with our 3rd cup. I actually had to go get some of my flour reserve from the basement. I use like one of those like vacuum sealer things to seal that. I got some extra stored in the basement. Anyway, after 3 cups, we were ready. Or 3.5 cups. That was 3.5 cups. Now we're ready. And I always set aside a little 1/2 cup on the side because you're going to need some while you're kneading. So this actually brings the flour total to 4 cups. If you have like a KitchenAid mixer, you could definitely do the kneading part in your KitchenAid, but I don't have a KitchenAid. And you know, it's a good workout. It's good for you. They say you should knead for like 5 to 8 minutes, I think. It doesn't really take that long. It's a good workout anyway. I didn't want that big of a loaf. I've been making my husband like 2 smaller sandwiches. That's what I'm making this for, so I can make him fucking sandwiches for work. Anyway, so I set some off to the side because I have some extra bacon jam and I want to make more bacon jam buns. I will do a video on the bacon jam. It is delicious. It is fantastic. It is one of my favorite things. But anyway, my husband's not as big of a fan, so I wanted to make him some little like cheesy bun things. They're just so cute. So yeah, I rolled it out. I made hella uneven pieces, but it's fine. I'm not a perfectionist. If you haven't been able to tell, I work with the fuck around and find out method, and it usually is fine. It's always edible, at least. If it's not perfect, they're fine. So I just roll them up and like pinch it together to kind of like seal it. They're cute little babies. And I put it into a greased pan. I did, I think 8 of each. I don't know. We'll see when we get to like the next clip. But these turned out fantastic. I love them. You could put anything in here. I've done like garlic butter cheesy ones. You could put veggies in there. You could put meat in there. Put whatever you want in there. Use your imagination. I let these rise for, I don't know, as long as it took to clean my kitchen or whatever. That like more than doubled in size. Those don't look like they rose a lot, but that's fine. I know they're gonna be fine. And other than the exploding cheese factor, they were totally fine. I kept these in the oven for I think 15 minutes. And the big loaf ended up going for I think 30 minutes. You want it to temp out to at least 180 internal temperature, so get like a good thermometer and poke it to check. Yeah, and that's about it.
Okay, hi, I'm back. Everything is done and everything is baked. So, me and my husband already tore into these. The cheese ones exploded a little bit. So what? They're still delicious. These, the bacon jam ones, are delicious. I knew they were going to be delicious because I've made these a couple of times before. Now moving on to the bread, right? Because this is the whole reason we did this, was to test this bread. It looks fine to me. I don't know if that really works. This isn't a sourdough loaf. It looks like it rose perfectly fine. It doesn't look like super small. It doesn't feel dense. So it looks fucking fine to me, but we won't know until we cut it open, and you are supposed to wait until it's cool to cut it open, but I don't follow the rules, so let me get a knife. I shouldn't, but I am. Look, it's hot! She looks beautiful. She looks delicious. She looks fantastic. Man. I'm not letting shit rise twice ever again. That's a waste of my time and it's a waste of yours too. Anywho, thanks for watching. Have a great day.